President Trump has repeated his America First campaign mantra. Now, he's calling for a muscular foreign policy. He's also warning that global rivals that perhaps want to undermine traditional U.S. influence and interest. However, he didn't quite go as far as some had expected. Our Asia government reporter, David Tweed, is here with us. And David, I guess, going into this, there were some who feared that he might go as far as calling China a strategic competitor. Did it happen?
No, he didn't call them. He talked about strategic competition, and this was an issue that the Americans have to deal with every tool in their arsenal: diplomacy, military, economic. But he didn't label China a strategic competitor or indeed an economic aggressor, which had been reported in the Financial Times. And that was why we had the Global Times yesterday, the Chinese party newspaper, actually coming out and warning that to call China an economic aggressor and to follow it up with any sorts of punishments would lead potentially to a trade war which could hurt the U.S. economically.
So tangibly, was there anything, a takeaway from this? If I'm China, for example, I'm looking at potential actions from them. Is there anything I should consider?
No. There were no actions outlined. Trump didn't outline any actions in his speech, and there's nothing actually outlined in the 55-page report, which, by the way, I saw one of the national security spokesmen was on CNN. I know it's a rival, but he did say that he wasn't absolutely sure that Trump had read the entire 55-page document. That said, it steps a long way away from what Trump used to talk about on the campaign trail. Remember, he was saying that he was going to slap tariffs on China up to 40%. We haven't seen any of that. If it is to come, it hasn't come yet.
Right. And that dialogue, I believe, is still ongoing, of course, more tangibly when they talk about these other industries. Broadly, though, how is China seen reacting to all of this, or the lack of it?
Well, we'll probably get an official reaction this afternoon when we have a briefing from the Foreign Ministry. There has been one article written from the China Daily, and they make the point, actually, that despite Trump's China bashing on the campaign trail, what he's doing now is really stepping back, and he's talking about wanting to build an even stronger relationship between the US and China. But it also makes a point at the very end, its concluding point is that it's hard to see how Trump's instinct to withdraw from global leadership commitments, like climate change, actually squares with their, with his aim and goal to make America great again. So pretty balanced response, I would say, so far.
Yeah. The other development that came out our time in the morning was the U.S. casting the blame on North Korea for this, what they call the cowardly WannaCry cyber attack. How does that complicate things?
Well, it doesn't so much complicate things as to make things a little bit easier, actually, for the US side, because instead of the US side going up to, say, China or Russia or any other country that might be providing internet services, because someone's got to be providing internet services to North Korea and attaching it, linking it to the network so that North Korea can actually get its viruses out there. So at least when it goes up to these countries and says, we want to do something, it can say, oh, we've heard a rumour that North Korea might have been behind WannaCry. They can actually say, no, we have evidence that's behind WannaCry and we want to do something about this and other types of cybercrime that might emanate from North Korea.